And then it's important to look at how to identify bullying, because sometimes it's disguised as a joke or teasing that's not intended to make somebody feel really, really uncomfortable. It's not always in the best of intentions either, but it's important to look at maybe the motivation behind bullying behavior to be able to identify it a little bit more clearly. So, a bully is somebody who behaves disrespectfully or aggressively to undermine self confidence. It's a controlling type of behavior. It's often motivated by fear or a need for attention or approval. A bully may attempt to do this by drawing negative attention away from themselves and direct it consistently towards someone else. They could exclude them repetitively from games or activities or groups. Bullying behavior is toxic and it includes different types of behavior. So it can be verbal, it can be online, and it can be physical. It should be reported immediately to an adult who you know and trust. And there's also online counselling services, just such as the Kids Helpline, that do provide excellent advice. But understanding that the bullying behaviour is often targeted towards a person or a group that the bully feels is vulnerable. The other important thing to understand about the bullying behaviour is that the responsibility for it resides with the bully. It is not anyone's fault if they are targeted by this kind of behaviour. And that's important to also make your children aware of, that they have in no way deserved or invited this type of action.
So, for a person that finds it difficult in general to decode the social situation, what's going on, what does this person mean, why are they acting in this way, why are people talking to me and saying these things to me, it can add a layer of difficulty to trying to figure out what is the intention behind what's going on. Are they being mean? Are they actually trying to be friendly? What's going on here? So, rather than trying to decode that, we can shortcut that situation by simply asking for what we want and what we need. If a friend of mine insults me and is teasing me and I don't like it, if I tell that friend, in all honesty, can you please stop doing that? I really don't like it when you call me this or when you say this about me. Then a real friend will hear that and accept that and stop doing it. And if they don't stop doing it, that is fairly good evidence that this person is not hearing your message and does not necessarily have your best interest at heart. So we spoke about this a little bit in the module on making friends, but you can tell, the easiest way to tell who your friends are is by the actions. If I ask someone to be nice to me and they are nice to me, that's fantastic. If someone is repeatedly doing things that I have constantly asked them not to do, then it's completely valid for me to say, if we were going to continue this positive relationship, I need you to stop doing these things. Otherwise, I'm going to have to put up some personal boundaries and not let you speak to me if you can't speak to me in a kind manner.
And the great thing about a 4-step bullying plan is that if you do the first 2 steps and someone is just teasing you, but they've managed to just get the tone wrong, or they've just got you on a day when you're not feeling able to cope with it, the first 2 steps in the plan will still work and it won't damage a friendship. Because the first 2 steps in the plan, the first step would be to call it out, as Paul said. Say, I'm not comfortable with you yelling at me. Can we talk quietly, please? And most people will respond quite respectfully to that request. The second option is to walk away. And again, if this person is a friend and if they've just kind of got the teasing a little bit wrong and it's not being received well, walking away is still going to preserve that friendship, but it's just going to walk away from a situation where you're not feeling comfortable. And you'll have an opportunity to talk to that friend again later. The third step in a bullying response would be to leave to get help or to yell for help. And that's, by the time you get to that stage, everyone is aware that the situation you're in is not a comfortable situation and it's not acceptable. And the fourth step is very, very important, and that is to report it. Always report any bullying behaviour to an adult immediately that you trust. Parents will be more worried about bullying and making sure you're safe than they will be about what you were doing or what you were playing when the bullying took place.
And this idea of talking to other people about what happened is another really good way of sense checking what's going on in the situation. Because when it's happening to you and you're feeling overwhelmed, it's hard to be really sure exactly what's going on. Did they really mean it? Were they being mean? What was going on? Whereas by talking it through with someone else at a later time, it can help give a little bit of perspective of that as well. Another mistake that's very easy to make, which can sometimes damage relationships, is to assume that someone who is hurting me or doing something that I don't like has a negative intention and calling that out in the moment. Because sometimes if a friend is teasing me and I tell them that they're bullying, they might get offended by that. So, in general, if someone is being mean or antagonistic or in any way threatening, uh, telling them that exact thing in the moment is likely to make them angry. A much safer way is to tell them what you would prefer them to do and give them a safe way out. So they don't have to say, yes, I was bullying you, I'm sorry. They can have the safe way out of saying, oh, I didn't mean for that to hurt you, I'm sorry I said that. And this helps to, not only it helps to save a relationship if it's a friend or someone who might be a potentially good relationship in the future, but also if it really is someone trying to give you a hard time, it allows them the space and time to think about what they've done, to recognize that they are actually hurting you in a significant way, and gives them a safe way out without them having to say, yes, I was the bad guy here. So, especially in violently dangerous situations, giving someone a way out can be a very good way to get out of a situation without having to use force or any other extreme method.